Good morning folks. Today I'm down Cannock Chase, which today is an absolutely beautiful frozen landscape. It's currently around -5. But anyway, let's make a move and let's try and find some awesome birds. We've been on location for all but 10 minutes, if that. And so far we've had a beautiful couple of blackbirds feeding in a tree. And more special, we've had a duo of redpoll also feeding in the trees. And their beautiful kind of dark backs with their sort of like red heads against the beautiful white snow on the trees is just gorgeous. So far, this day is already going spectacularly. While I'm here in Cannock Chase, it'd be rude not to attempt to photograph any crossbills. So I've been speaking to a fellow YouTuber, Mr. Lewis Round Photography, and he has recommended I come to this area of the chase, which is actually funny because this is the exact area where I saw my very first ever one. So great minds think alike. So yeah, we're going to continue down this path and we're going to see if we come across any crossbills knocking around. You know, this is wildlife photography. I may not find any, but you've got to give it your best. The area we're in is absolutely filled with pine trees, which, as we all know, are a favourite of crossbills. So they actually use their crossbills to kind of break open and feed on pine cones and pine kernels, and just other seeds in general. So we are definitely in the right kind of spot. We have just found our first crossbills of the day. Now we haven't been able to get any footage or photos of them just yet, as we are so high in the pine trees. And quite honestly, where the sun is right now isn't the best. But they are in the area, we've found them. Now we just need to capture them. Just quickly dragging you away from one Winterland to another to talk to you about Audiio. Now Audiio have a massive library of music and sound effects created by actual human beings, and I've actually been using them for well over a year now. And that's because they make finding music so simple, because I can search by genre, mood, BPM and so much more. You can even drop in a link into their link match AI tool from Spotify or YouTube, and Audiio will automatically find you something similar. Now if you follow the link in the description, you can get yourself $100 off your first year off the Pro plan, or 40% off your first year of the Pro Plus membership. So if you create content like I do, or if you have to create media for work and you need some stock music, please consider giving Audiio a chance. But yeah, how gorgeous is that? Sun's finally coming up, but yeah, back to the video. Things are heating up a little bit here. So we found a few crossbills. So we are now just moving back around this little area of woodland so that we have the sun behind us opposed to the side of us. because the ones we've just found, you know, we could tell they're crossbills, but they're silhouetted so bad. And we would love to see their beautiful greeny and reddy kind of colours. So yeah, we're going to move on round and hopefully get something cool. We are in a much better position now. So we've had a few of them flying around, so green and reds, and they are gorgeous birds. Harder to photograph than I remember. They're very high up in the pine trees and they're taking a lot of shelter, taking a lot of cover, so it has been very hard getting a clear shot. But we're still going to stay here for a little bit, see what we can get, because I reckon if we just remain quiet, keep still, it might come a little bit closer. As luck would have it, we have chosen a pretty sweet spot. You know, we've been watching the crossbill, who've been amazing so far. But a little greater spotted woodpecker has just landed to the side of us, and in behaviour I've never seen before. It was feeding on a pine cone and using its beak to kind of like get in the middle to get the kernels out, ultimately flinging it away, which is kind of funny. But yeah, an awesome one. I am well happy with how today is going so far. ended up leaving our primary little location because, well, the crossbills flew off, and we gave it some time, probably about 20 minutes or so, and it didn't show any sign of them coming back, so we figured we'd go on for a wander. So we've been walking around the woods for a little bit, come across a few woodpeckers, some beautiful gold crests, like gorgeous little birds. But yeah, now we're just wandering around the woods. Now, as luck would have it again, both myself and Luke have things to do today, engineers coming out and all that, so we can't spend as much time out here as we would have liked. Sorry, a bit cold, I cannot speak right now. So we are sort of slowly making our way back and heading back towards the car, just hoping to pick off any other sort of small woodland birds as I decide to venture on out. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but currently there is a very, very healthy flock of crossbills in this little woodland, and I'm just watching them just fly from tree to tree, chasing each other, feeding on pine cones, and it is incredible. Now, for those who have tried photographing crossbills before, you will know they can be very quick and they tend to stay near the trunks of the trees. So they can be very hard to photograph because they're always sort of nestled in deep. So we're kind of just waiting and hoping for one to go on the edge of a tree in some decent light, hopefully in a bit of a branch with some snow on it to get, you know, a really nice kind of wintry kind of photo. But hey, if it happens, it happens. If not, oh well. I'm just so happy to see them because they're incredible. They really are beautiful, beautiful birds. So we're on our way back to the car. We were walking back through some woodlands and we were surrounded. There's a massive flock of them, around sort of 15 to 20. And again, gorgeous birds. And we were trying our best to get some photos and some videos of them, but they're so far up in the pine trees that we're craning our necks. And when we walk a bit further back to get a better angle, typical, we're just a bit too far away. So, you know, as a photographer, never happy. But that's just how we go. But yeah, unfortunately, we do both have appointments and engineers coming around today, so we actually do have to get a move on, which is such a shame, but you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm well happy with that. But anyway, I think that is a great place to end today. So if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Cheers, folks.